Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Motorsport Manager. The Timmix here with more of Ernie's Paradise. Race 3 out of 16 coming up in Sydney. And the way this has started off, I'm thinking this is going to be one of those that's just going to be easier than might expect. And one where we might be able to do montage the last few races and put this challenge away early. But it's only race 3 out of 16. There's a lot of work to do. Because of the screw-up that I did with Surikov running out of fuel, he's going to start up almost mid-pack this time with Sharp at the back. So I'll probably still have them both in the same strategy, though, because he's probably still going to be behind the point where the cars with the softer tires are. So let's take a look at what we've got here. And our must-have interview question. It's about him running out of fuel. So I tell him I screwed up. The chairman, or chairwoman, Lana Hendrick, not thrilled, but it does boost Surikov's morale a couple times that I admitted that I screwed up. And I did. That was just dumb. Just didn't feel like redoing the whole race when we're sitting fine in the championship. Okay. So, do our repair. And we're going to blather on about Will Baggs retiring. Don't care. Let's see where we're at on the parts. I think we're finishing up the last rear wing, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we're going to have another one like that. So we're going to want to get this one ready. For Sydney, we're looking at mostly the gearbox and the front wing, also the engine. So we'll want to do gearbox and front wing for performance. Okay, this will give us 3 days before the race. We'll be able to get those done. And you know, I'd like to get the new rear wing out there, though. Well, the thing is, I don't really need it for this race. So it'd probably be better to wait until I can boost that rear wing to 100%. Because I don't, the engine and the suspension are fine. And the current rear wings. So I think maybe we're going to wait another race and just make sure that we get all of our parts to maximum reliability. So we can wait another race. And let me see what's after Sydney. Yokohama, yeah, Yokohama's not going to need it either, nor is Beijing. The whole string there starts in Rio. So it'd still be better to have it, but I think I'm better off getting that reliability boosted. So that's what I'll go ahead and do. And then, of course, when these finish up, I'll throw that rear wing in there and get it started. And then also, we're 6 days away from getting that finished, so I'll be able to start working on the engine. Okay, so there's the new one for that. Should be the same. Let's make sure it actually is. Yep, 25%. And they've both got 100 points of improvement to go, so we'll be able to work on that throughout the year. Hoping to start boosting that before we get into those races. We can see even now is we're only 9th in that, but we're above average. So it just shows you how skewed to the top. Matter of fact, I think the rear wings are actually skewed the most to the top part, but we'll get a lot more competitive even than this eventually. We're slipping a little bit on that front wing, so, you know, some stuff is happening there. We have to keep improving, and we're going to go with the engine next. You see, all three of these would be useful. So we'll drop this down. Yeah, see, 1.5 million, but it also takes 10 days. So we're going to have some build-up to do. It's going to cost many, many millions to get that engine right. But once we do, we should see a major performance increase. Okay, report on Sydney, 41 laps, 3.5 miles, time near 2 minutes. If that's even close to accurate, it's going to be a long race. Front wings are the deal, and Gitano Sports #1. Oh, we need a new ride and handling facility. Well, too bad we don't have the time or the money for that. Goodness, I thought they were going to stop when the reliability finished. That sucks. Okay. Small little screw up there. Not going to cost us too much. The engine build has finished. It does pause on that. And we can see this new one tops out at 793, which is already about 20 points better than our current ones. But we're going to want to go a lot better than that. So boost that one in there, and this one, just because they add no time or cost. The other ones do. And we can get into this great territory later as well, although it looks like we got... That one's borderline, but we'll worry about that later. We're going to want to go with the full 5 parts here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I definitely am. So I'm just going to want to gradually build up each design as best I can. Another 10-day deal, another 1.5 million. We're definitely going to soak through all this. I think by the time we're done with the engine, we're actually going to be in the negative. But let me take a look at our sponsors real quick. And yeah, this one's going to be coming free after one race, but nobody else for a few more races. We probably will end up going into the negative, but I'm going to be okay with going a couple 3 million down. Those are done, and we're going to want to boost these. I want to continue to throw the effort into reliability, getting those new parts done. They should be done well before we get an engine ready to use, and then I'll be going on to the performance, which would be great. Okay. And on to Sydney now. Again, I'm going to go with the 5th, lower margin of error, and almost as much money. 13 degrees. Definitely be on the cooler side. I don't see us wanting the mediums, but I also think the 3 of each has not failed me yet. I'm going to just stick with that. But I'm thinking at that temperature it's going to be softs, maybe even supers. And picking us now 2nd and 6th, so they've marked us down a little bit. They're saying we're not as good 1st and 4th previously. Now we're down to 2nd and 6th. See how that plays out. So we've got a rainy day for practice to get us ready for potential sprinkler action during the race itself. Looks like we're going to be starting on inters and then backing off. And yeah, we're at 100% across the board. We should be able to use the same settings for both cars. Those are the only two crucial parts, gearbox and the front wing. So we're really going to be able to, yeah, 390. We're going to be able to hammer the weight stripping quite a bit here now, and also shouldn't have to worry about repairing parts. So that should really boost our performance. So 1st and 13th. First time we've gotten sharp at the top of the practice board. Not that it really matters. And one of the things about having this this setup with no qualifying, it makes practice a lot quicker. We can get right on to the races without spending as much time in the lead up, because the practice is simpler, and you totally cut out the qualifying session as a time sink. So that I happen to like about this particular session. It just sort of cuts out the busy work stuff. So after doing a pretty quick save, we get all the praise for Zoe Sharp, and it's time to get onto the racing. And of course it's going to start raining, which means I should have done, if I knew it was coming, should have done the inters. Oh, wets. You want wets. And that does look like it's the best. It's a close call. You can see for a few laps it's going to be totally wet. A few more laps it's going to be borderline between inters and wets. I think wets generally the best. So, and then if we get sprinklers later on, this could be a crazy race. Nobody did wets in practice. Nobody's going to be ready for them. So let's do, I'm not sure about this, but let's do that light-footed one. And then the race trim. So your tires are going to last longer at the beginning than everybody else's. These will last plenty of time to get through this, I would expect, but it's still going to get, and then we'll go with the softs and the race trim here. It's still going to get us superior, speed and everything, because we won't be getting the tires as far wore down. Okay, so 97%. So we made it worse. So if we went with that setup, so this was poor. And that was good. This is good. Yeah. I'm going to take the risk of tweaking that. And then I'm going to come back a little bit to put this right in place. Yeah, I'm going to do that. It's a bit of a risk, but I think it's more likely to be better than worse. Okay, and then we are going to want to knock off 12 laps of fuel this time to 29 using the rule of 70%. And you're staying right at 98%. I'll just leave you. I'll just let you stay right there. And again, going to come down to 29 laps. So, third race about to get started. You can see the last place drivers up front. We've got Surikov down in row 7. Looking like he's going to have a decent day. Sharp in the very back, looking a little bit above average. You can see the other top drivers not looking too great today, so that could be helpful. Let's shift up to Surikov. who is off to a slightly bad start. Doesn't look like it's going to hurt him too much, though. And everybody in the field is on wets. So Surikov doing a good job on that inside line, moving up to 10th. Now 9th, as he sort of gets bumped around. Sharp up to 19th, making a little bit of a push. Surikov battling to get into the points here, right in the middle of the pack. Holtz had a really bad time early on, but Sharp struggling to get by anybody else here. A little bit of a surprise there. There we go. Now Zoe's making a move, while Surikov holds just outside the points positions, currently in 12th. After starting 13th, he's kind of just staying there. Sharp continuing to move up. Surikov continuing to hold. Trying to make a big move here now. Up to 9th. 8th there, at least momentarily. There we go. Surikov up to 8th. Now 7th. 5th. So, quite an excellent second lap here for Nikolai Surikov. And we'll switch down to medium and push because these tires seem to be quite resilient. So let's stick a lap on push and see if we can gain any more ground. Oh, Moreno's going to come in. So a lot of the other cars not managing their tires quite well enough to make it through the weather. And we are first and second, blowing away the field now. See how long that lasts. But it's very, very nice at this point. Sharp with almost a 5-second lead and frying those tires because she can. So right here is where we're getting the benefit from that tire ability. And I didn't think I'd ever be able to use it, but it's coming in effectively. And now it's going to warm up, which I didn't expect. It's going to be much nicer for the softs. It's going to rain again later. I can just see it. Around lap 30. And let's see. I'm going to want... Yeah, I'm going to come in this next lap. Both drivers. Super softs might make it, but I'm definitely going to go with the softs. I'm going to go with the softs and drive them fairly aggressively. And then we'll get back out on wet tires later. This is really coming together well for us. And of course we're still on our initial harvesting kick. And it is fairly wet out. But it's going to dry out completely. And we're at the point where dry tires are a little bit better than wets. So it's definitely time to come in. You can see Sharp's not pulling away. He's actually losing a little bit of time, possibly a lap late here. Yep, Moreno's catching us on mediums. So that tells you that the water is no longer having the effect. So probably one lap late coming in. On the other hand, staying out there for another lap helps in you know, not being in the pack when we pit. So let's go aggressive. A little bit on both, at least first coming out. And Surikov is in third. to emerge. I'd like to get by Moreno if at all possible. I think Sharp might be able to make it through on one set of wets. I might try that with her. But Surkov is not going to be able to do that. We'll have to stop once. Yeah. And we're definitely going to come in after this one. Another set of wet tires. Fortunately, nobody else is really more prepared for this than us. So I don't see this being a big disadvantage. It's just something everybody's going to have to deal with. There's some cars going in now. Debatable whether they'll gain anything from going in a lap earlier. And I'm going to have Sharp conserve and try to leg out the rest of this. Surkov is going to push him. And come in for one more stop. So Sharp, go neutral. Surkov, go neutral as well. For the moment. You see the amount we're supposed to get. Yeah, 19 laps. I might be able to just snake it out, but I don't want to do that. So just push. And get as much as you can out of this. Plan on coming in for another stop. Around lap 33, I think. Between the sprinklers and the rain, it's going to get interesting. And there we go. We're going to come in for our final stop. Make sure we watch the fuel now. We're getting down to about 3 laps. A little over 1. Maybe 1.5, 1.25 is where I'm going to want to switch that over. And we'll be about full on energy by that point anyway. I will have some left to push, but I don't need to use it. Really? Huh, that's bizarre. You'll be fine, though. And we're going to go aggressive. Surkov actually does slip behind Chapman, so a longer pit stop than I thought. And I may push some just not to get caught back in traffic. I'll switch over at, I think, 2 laps for Surkov. Car's still fine. Three laps to go, and Chapman might have us. Superior tire driving smoothness, allowing him to keep the tires going. Yeah, 25%. Going to start to see a little bit of slowdown. I want to go neutral here for the rest of this lap. Then aggressive the last 2. Losing ground. Whoa, look at this. It's Saarinen. Oh, you jerk. Wow. Still didn't have the tires to do much more, so Surikov could finish in 4th. Chapman pits. And Saarinen's on Inters, so he's got better tires. Gonna beat us. Oh well. 1st and 3rd, not the end of the world. Scuderia and Wexler having problems. Wexler just pit. Okay. So that's why they lost down. So 1st and 3rd, far from the end of it. You see Saarinen accelerating away. Wet tires were better. You know, I could have stretched the wets and gone Inters at the end, but it wasn't for that much. It was only for a few laps. So I still think, I would have been worse off trying to do that. Saarinen was just better, so okay. Oh, and Chapman is on the warpath as well, so let's not relax too much. Sharp wins. Oh my goodness, Chapman's going to get by us too. Well, okay. That's unfortunate. I still can't complain about 1st and 4th. I still extended the lead. It just looked like I was going to get 1st and 2nd that whole time, so still should move Surikov up in the standings. There's Zoe Sharp, winner for the 3rd straight race, and I'm guessing many to come. Lost several seconds there at the end and still easily won. Lipinen taking the fastest lap bonus for Windsor. Wexler getting a parts demotion and already was out of the points. And Surikov up from 8th to 5th. In the standings. While we now lead by 37 points. 47 points, excuse me. I wouldn't say Zoe Sharp's being carried. She's one of the best drivers. And we've got a new trait for Zoe Sharp. Boosting up here, we're up to 18 now on the cornering. Feedback is improving. Got some improving stats for our everything there. Chairman is 100% happy. Marketability holding steady. Home race winner. Plus morale for winning in front of her home fans. Okay. You can see, again, Sharp has been solid, but not spectacular. And Surikov has yet to, I mean, that was his best, but has yet to run a decent race, so that's surprising we're doing as well as we are with the drivers really not performing as they're capable. We could yet see some boosts to Sharp stats as well. Another $1 million in the bank. So, disappointing ending with Surikov dropping a couple spots, but overall we did well. Could be another wet one. Significant rain predicted for Yokohama next time out. And we're just under double what Scuderia and Steinman have. Windsor not far behind them. We'll continue working on the engine, of course. and maxing out those rear wings. Getting to some more performance boosts, I would think, soon, as we start to get towards the meat of the schedule. So that's 3 races down, everything looking great for Panther. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time when we head off to Japan.